Yeah, man. What money is to me, it's freedom. It's freedom of movement. I mean, this is why we're in the crypto space. Banks can't tell us what to do. I move my money whenever I want to. And this is like, I feel like crypto and the red pill has really merged together really well, because it's all about having that ability of freedom, of like choice, freedom of money. I mean, Rolo says it all the time, that, I'm not giving you prescriptions. I'm telling you the information, and it's up to you to choose your adventure and what you want to do with it. But without money, you can't do anything. I mean, everyone, if you don't have money, you're a slave. Period. I mean, I wish it wasn't like that, but there's a lot of people here that are able to do it through business, hanging steel, or crypto, or a lot of the other business stuff. There's a lot of ways to make money and stuff, and like a lot of the gentlemen here are very successful. So definitely listen up.
All right.
Number one, shout out. I didn't know you were in Chicago. Actually, when I was early in my tech career, I pitched that Tasty Trade to some of their founders.
Oh, did you? Oh, yeah. To Tom and Tony?
Yeah, way back in the day.
Tom and Tony are my those guys are my mentors. They taught me how to trade. Yeah.
With regards to money, I think the number one thing that young people need, and I guess probably people who aren't experienced with money, is the proper mindset. After amassing a decent amount of money, I figured out how to be poor. I'm not poor, but I figured out how to be poor, which is to say that money matters a lot when you don't have any. And then once you get some, money doesn't matter at all. Once you get to the point where money doesn't matter at all, then you can look at money objectively and understand how to use it, how to protect it, how to grow it, all of those different things. I think most people are missing that. More importantly, there's often a conversation when you're putting the pursuit of women and the pursuit of money against one another, which I don't actually think is the case. I think if you find a proper integration in life, you find a way to deal with women as you strive on your pursuit of finances. I don't think you have to exclude them totally, but that requires meaningful mindset in which you let this chick know, hey, shorty, you're not my goal. This is my goal. I'm going this way. If you'd like to accompany me, fantastic. I'm going to spend my night working. If you'd like to hang out and sit right there and periodically bring me water while I'm working, join me on this adventure. Yeah. And anytime we spend money, that's because you were a part of the process of me making money. And we're going to be not parsimonious, but we're going to be thrifty because I'm wise. And as you said, you want to keep your money. There's a number of different ways to do that. And so making sure that you're taking proper leadership of that female in your pursuit to wealth, I think you can do both at the same time. But the priority is money, money, money. And when you said it's right up there with fitness, I thought you were about to say it's right up there with God. And I was about to say, you're right, it's right. It's not there, but it's very, very close. And I think there's a spiritual level to finances. And once you understand that, then you can relax and enjoy life. And shout out to crypto, because you're right. It gives you that disconnect from government, because my last bit on money is people don't realize they think banks are private institutions. Banks are government institutions. They're government institutions. And let you go to the bank and try to take out more than 10K and see how many issues they cause you. It's ridiculous.
Try to notify my old friends.
Try sending a wire right now. You can't. Let me tell you that much.
They'll lose their shit if you try to withdraw over 10K, or if you want to deposit like 20, 50K, they'll lose their shit.
And the bank has to report it.
They
have to report over 10K.
Absolutely.
When you buy a bank, you are buying a government accreditation. That's essentially what you're buying. Anyone could just collect assets, but the bank, what you're buying is the actual accreditation that they're getting from the federal government. That's essentially what it is.
I had a 14-day hold on a wire to Coinbase, just because all this stuff is going down with the banks right now.
Someone once said, you have money in the bank? No, you have what they want to give you in the bank. Literally.
Literally.
Good point.
That's 1,000% correct.
I'm just going to echo what Justin said, because he's 100% correct. They always say, if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. Well, money is the exact same way. If you don't have your money and your finances together, you don't have anything, because money is what allows you to live life. You need it, because money is time. That's all it is. And all we're doing is exchanging time through this tool of money. So in order to get gas, I need to get money to pay the refiners and the truck drivers and the gas station attendants to do that. And the quicker you accumulate money, and as you pointed out, the less money you need, the quicker you get to what you were talking about, Miguel, freedom. To do what you want. And so, but it is equivalent to your health, because you could have the world's greatest health, but if you're poor, you can't go and buy food, let alone go and enjoy life.
Shout out to all the male strippers here in Las Vegas.
So
Thunder Down Under.
Got that health, but no money.
And this is, I got to ask this question, because as you guys know, we got a varying audience of ages, right? You got guys that are
18.
young, 15 to 25. Then you got guys that are 25 to 30. You got guys in the 40s and 50s, etc. And, let's be honest, a lot of guys, when it comes to pursuing women and money, it's not a clear-cut line. A lot of guys here have the discipline to be able to do the two or don't let one control the other. But for guys that are kind of trying to do both, or they're in a certain stage in their life, when should men prioritize the acquisition of capital over women? What does that number look like from an annual income standpoint? And then at what point do they go ahead and say, okay, I can load off a little bit on the money and I can now pursue the women? At what age group and income bracket would you say they need to reach to be able to hit that? And we'll say in middle America, we won't say New York City or Miami or one of these like super expensive cities. We'll say somewhere middle America. We can say, let's say a good median city. What's a good maybe a Dallas, Texas?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Maybe I would say that's a safe.
Like that,
Okay, so I'll turn it to you, Aaron. What do you think?
It's hard because
I know,
what's your income and all. I'm going to say this: when you have no debt,
okay,
and you have enough money for a down payment on a house,
okay,
then I think as a young man you are at a position where you could start to entertain the pursuit of women. I'm not saying don't pursue them and don't ask them out if they're there, and don't swear off them or anything. But I got things stable, I got a good job, I have no debt, and I got a little bit of money in the bank that could potentially buy property with, then I would say you've kind of reached it and you could start entertaining having women be a
How much do you think they should have in savings, roughly? Because let's say they don't want to buy a house, they want to rent.
Minimum, I've talked about this. Everyone needs a micro FU fund. You need 6 months living expenses.
Okay.
So if your boss F's with you, you lose your job, any kind of thing outside of your control, you're not desperate, you don't have to stay in a toxic work environment, you can live for 6 months, find a job, not be desperate, hold off for a better job. So I'd say at least 6 months living expenses is what you
Question
need.
for you. Would you say that's the difference between peace of mind and freedom?
I think it's both.
Having the 6 months, so being able to tell them,
yeah,
fuck you.
they kind of Venn diagram.
Yeah.
Freedom, no, you need
You
full
need way
FU.
more for freedom, and that's what I meant.
Yeah.
There's like peace of mind. Hey, fuck you! Don't treat me that way. I'll quit, get another job. And then there's true financial freedom.
Right. And since Fresh and Fit's audience kind of skews a little bit younger than mine, especially for younger guys, the mistake I made was always paying off my debts. Everything went to pay off debts, and I did not have this micro FU fund. And you are going to run into mentally ill bosses, psychopathic bosses, companies that just go bankrupt because of economic factors. Nothing malicious there. You don't want to be, oh my God, I need to find another job immediately. You could, if you got 6 months living expenses. Oh, by the way, employers are going to lowball you on your first job offer, no matter what. You never take that. You're like, no, 25% more minimum. Yep. So you can bluff. You say, no, I need this much. You should be able to go in and say, I need a living wage for this area. You will pay me a living wage. And that includes residence near the office you want me to go to downtown. So if I got to come downtown and I got to pay for park, no, I ain't commuting. You're paying for a downtown loft, that rent. Otherwise, I'm not interested. Well, we can afford, fine, buy. You have 6 months living expenses. So just saving that money is absolutely critical at the very early stages of your career and development.